welcome everybody to the second hour of Mindshifters Radio. Today's Monday, August the 4th, 2025. And while we're waiting on Michael to get on, I'll just say we had an awesome meeting yesterday we've started, Susan Flueck is co-facilitating with Michael to do a step-by-step group going through the Codependence Self-Study. And so that was phenomenal. We had, I think, a total of 24 people. We've had a couple this morning say they want in. So it was a really good group, good start in just introducing each other. And it's going to be a really good study. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be on Sundays. Hi, Lucy. It's going to be on Sundays from 4 to 6 Eastern Time and on Wednesdays from 7 to 9 Eastern Time. And so, like, for instance, this week from now until Wednesday, we will watch on our own the videos for week 1 of the Codependence study. And then on Wednesday, we will have discussion, assistance, questions, whatever. And then from Wednesday to the next Sunday, we'll watch week 2. And so we'll be doing that. We'll be watching the videos on our own and then getting together twice a week for just 2 hours each time and processing and working through it. And so I think that this will help those, we had a lot of people that purchased the self-study program and then just seemed like they never got off the ground. So I think this will really be a push for that. And hopefully it'll be a push for the radio show for people that are participating in it to pop in, ask questions, and be with us here on the radio show. Welcome, Michael. I was just kind of telling about the codependence group yesterday and what we were kind of doing.
Awesome. Thank you, dear heart. And yesterday, it was a really sweet start. Everybody introduced themselves. I think we had, 18 people with 6 committed that are missing. So we're going to have a really nice group. And if you have done the codependence, the repentance, either of the 2 Zooms that we did in 20 or 21, or you purchased the self-study, or you want to purchase the self-study, then join the group. And you can be doing an intensive in the comfort of your own home. And I think there's going to be some really blockbuster stuff happen in terms of people letting go of limits and moving forward. So delighted that you're here today, that we get to say hello. And I wonder if anybody has a thought. Oh, Lucy, you got a hand up. Go for it, Lucy. What's on your mind, young lady?
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
welcome.
So my question is inspired by yesterday
Yes.
class. There is something out of your tools which I never, I never made it clear, and it just got me again. It's actually 3 early memories.
Right.
And so first of all, that's kind of the main thing. Where we have people are and relationships are, most of the time, I would say, like, pretty much every time, I don't know what to write because my brain doesn't think like that. So if
When you say think like that, I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So when I'm in a situation with a person, so which was the memories, I only think about this person. I kind of don't remember ever generalizing the life is or relationships are or people are. I only think about this particular person.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can help me out here. So because I left it blank on all 3.
Okay, so let's imagine an early memory of being abused. And if somebody has an early memory of being abused, probably they've been abused more than once. So if you don't recall, one of the instructions we give when we do that worksheet is if you don't recall exactly how you felt or what your thoughts were about, knowing yourself, what would be your conclusion? So if someone has been repeatedly abused through their lives and they're doing an early memory of abuse, but they don't have a recollection of exactly what was going on at that moment. So knowing yourself from that situation and similar situations, what would be your conclusion about life? It might be, well, life is difficult. People are mean. I'm a victim, or I'm weak and helpless. I
So
must.
about myself, I'm thinking, of course, and it's pretty clear what my thoughts even were. I do remember because it wasn't very early childhood.
Right.
And yet, even now, that's what I'm saying. I cannot even think now that whatever happened, I don't generalize it like that.
Okay. So now's the time to begin. So going back to that early memory that you were just talking about, knowing yourself, what would your conclusion be about yourself in that circumstance?
Oh, about myself. I mean, I
Well,
know.
if that's, there's several blanks there. Take any one of the blanks. Life is, I am, I feel. People are, I
Okay.
need, I must, I want.
So,
So in each
like,
situation.
okay, to be specific. Okay, so my mom told me to bring her belt so she would beat me up with that.
Okay.
Yeah. This I put, life is brutal.
Okay.
That I assume I thought like that. Then I
Yeah. Well,
definitely.
again, knowing yourself, what would you don't have a memory of what you actually thought at that point, but knowing yourself, what be, and I think you hit it on the head. Life is brutal.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm helpless. I feel scared. And then people are, a relationship are, I have nothing. I must find the way to change my mom's mind. I need my dad to come home now because he would never let it happen. And then I want mom to leave me alone, and the second to
Okay.
be kind to me. I want to punish mom by getting sick, so I would get sick and she would be worried. And then punish myself, I guess, also getting sick because no fun to be sick.
Okay.
So that's one instance.
Okay. So you've got one set of early memories, or again, you don't have to specifically recall what they were, but generalizing, knowing who you are and what you would respond to. So that's a good set of early memories. So now take a second memory.
Okay. But Michael, but people in relationship are like, I have nothing. Okay. So now
Okay.
second.
So in that situation, your mother is brutally beating you up and making you bring the belt, and you have no conclusions about her.
About her, I do.
Well, she's a people. So about her,
Oh,
what,
I thought like I
yeah.
was general. Oh, well, that of course. Oh, then.
I mean, I do 100 different ones and there are 100 different people involved, but what's my conclusion about people?
Okay. So in this case, mom is. I mean, how I would translate it to English. Um, well, mom is mean. Mom is like, I need to look at dictionary to look at this
Okay.
bad words.
Okay. So that
And
would be it.
relationship, like I really, I was scared, but like this relationship, I would hate her then.
Okay.
So,
So that might be the punishment, hating her. But the relationship, like would you, if you go back to that memory and you think about mom telling you to get the belt, would would you thought about the conclusion you come to with relationship is,
oh,
you know,
cruel,
cruel.
that's word,
Okay, there you
cruel.
go. Yeah.
Okay, cruel. Okay. So a second, older boy, he was like a few years older at school. How do you call this? I didn't put Russian word in there. Like, do you see me? Do you see me now, Mike?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, it's
Yep.
like when you can do something like that, take a little metal thing, put it in
Right.
this And how we call this thing?
Slingshot.
How's it?
A slingshot.
Slingshot, yeah. So he
Yeah.
actually, I mean, I didn't see that. Then all of a sudden, I feel pain in my
You got
cheek,
hit.
and I thought that boy, he did that. So I put there, life is dangerous. I'm in pain. I feel helpless and confused because I was confused, like what happening. So here, people are. This person is, I would say, insane. Really.
Or cruel, perhaps.
Well, cruel, yes.
Yeah.
He is mean. He is like horrible. It was just one thing he did to me. I don't know what he had a problem
Right.
with me. I didn't know him.
Right.
Cruel. And the relationship, like, what kind of relationship I had with him? Nothing.
No, there was a relationship there. I mean, you were in the room with him.
Hateful. Maybe he hated me for
Okay.
something. He hated
Okay.
me, right?
Okay.
Okay, hateful. Okay, okay, good. I
I
must.
want.
I have here, I must to be vigilant. I need somebody to stop him. I want to tell my dad on him. So I really wanted to tell my dad because my dad, he was third person in a whole, army base.
Right.
And if I would really tell my dad, that probably going to be huge trouble for this boy. And another thing, I want for this boy to be nice. Well, I really want to tell my dad. So I want to punish him by finding someone who punish him. And I'm punish myself by not telling my dad.
Okay.
And so that's for that episode. And that's my third memory again with this boy, because it was kind of ongoing thing at school.
Sounds like quite a relationship.
What did I put there? People are relationship. Hateful, I put. So because
But
I
I'm
thought
pointing out.
he hated me, obviously it was his behavior, but like I probably should think how I felt, right? Like not what he.
Well, in the blank where it's I feel, that would be the place for you to put that. But he'd be the people involved in that, people are. So people are hateful, cruel, mean. What word fits?
I put in this case I just right now put cruel, people are,
Okay.
and I put insane because I definitely was insane.
Right.
In relationship, so what would I put in relation? I put hateful, but it's probably not right in this
Whatever's
situation.
true for you. It might be something like, gee, I'm trying to do something about this, trying to get rid of him. So relationships are difficult, maybe.
I mean,
Or relationships are impossible. There's nothing I can do about this. There could be a variety of conclusions, knowing yourself.
so I would say maybe even confusing because like
Okay.
why would, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
confusing.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's what you want to get to.
Uh-huh. And I felt confused, actually, helpless and confused. And
Okay.
then the third one, again about this boy. So I was chubby child. He called me Elephant Daisy.
So this is a third memory with him, or the second one?
Oh, it's a third on the list, but second with
Oh, by
him.
the second with him. Okay, got it.
So first was mom.
Yeah.
He called me Elephant Daisy, and use anti-Semitic rhetoric. That's my first time encounter. I couldn't even understand what's going on. So I put life is unfair. I am confused again. I couldn't understand what's going on. And I definitely felt shame. I remember that. And I was fearful because I was like, when I saw him, I was already fearful and helpless.
Right.
Okay, now people are. So this guy, I mean, he is insane, he is mean, he is hateful.
Racist.
Yeah, but that time I would not think, but I
That wouldn't be
saw
in your mind, right?
anti-Semite, yeah. So I would, so he is hateful, I would say. Hateful, mean. What else I said? Insane, still insane. It was like absolutely uncalled behavior. Insane. Okay. So relationship with him, it's something what to avoid for me. What should I like?
Avoid them. That's perfect.
Oh, that can I? Okay,
Now, that would be your
relationship.
conclusion about relationship.
Uh-huh. Oh
Sure.
yeah.
Yep.
I needed to be vigilant to watch if he's anywhere and try not to be by myself.
Yeah.
Avoid. Okay.
And I'd put the
Now
word vigilant in there.
vigilant
And if I'm
again.
not going to be by myself, maybe a conclusion about needing protection.
Okay, protection. Okay. So this is a relationship I put. Michael,
Wherever it
I
fits.
I am at the relationship. I put avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I need
vigilant. It
protection.
doesn't go there. Okay,
Well,
need
in relationship, you were talking about him, and you said you needed to be vigilant. So I would say that would fit in the
to
relationship category.
relationship.
Yeah,
Okay,
in relationships, I need to be vigilant. I need
okay,
someone to protect me. There's several
yeah,
conclusions there.
yeah, right. So I must hide if I see him coming. I need somebody to stop him again. I want to hide, and I want to be invisible to him. I want to punish him by telling my dad on him. And again, I punish myself by not telling my dad on him. So that's my
What?
three.
Yeah. What had you in both cases withhold getting your father involved?
I couldn't answer myself, like almost like I didn't want to be the one who telling it. No, I don't remember. That's
So,
I was thinking yesterday, and like, why didn't I?
so it sounds like the conclusion there might be, and I need to keep quiet.
Right. So I need to keep quiet. So I did not afraid of him, of this boy, by not, I was afraid of him, but it
Right.
wasn't, it's not like if I tell my dad, that would be worse for me. It wasn't like that.
Right. Got
And
it.
it's almost, I remember one time was contemplating, now it's coming. I thought if I kind of didn't, for some reason, I didn't want my dad to use his power because he would talk to his father. And my dad was like way bigger boss. So that would be, I didn't want this mess. This is what it was. And now I would tell on him.
Right. So something's changed in terms of your courage then. Maybe that's a clue into what was going on, why you didn't say anything.
So to tell my dad, I would need the courage, right? Why? I did not, if it's what I remember correct, I didn't want the whole mess, parents involved, and of course that would be big problem for this boy. I didn't care that would be a big problem for this boy, but it was like so many like grown-ups involved and all that. Like, why didn't I want it? That I cannot recall. Maybe I didn't even realize why I didn't. I just made decision every time not
Right.
to tell my dad.
So
Oh, wait a minute.
there's
That was the one thing I know I've done later with parents and everything. I didn't want them to be upset. That I remember was ongoing behavior for me. But I don't know if that was that time.
right. So that would be a good dynamic to be in touch with. I need to protect others.
Uh,
And so it sounds like you're touching into that, but to recognize, so every behavior that we do is in response to a stress. And we each have a personal code, a personal set of rules by which we behave. So in that situation, I don't know why I did that, but I didn't tell my parents, means there's something unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
The whole objective of this work is to eradicate the unconscious mind. I don't believe it's natural for us to have an unconscious mind. Psychologists will tell us, 80, 90, 95, some even say as much as 98% of our so-called thinking is unconscious,
Yeah.
which really tells us how far we are away from our natural state if we're not designed to have an unconscious mind. It's a whole lot of crazy going on. So now you've got those two memories. You do a third one, and the idea here is once you've got the three memories laid out, then you look at what are the common links. Well, gee, these three it was pretty much the same or similar. Or these, so you identify what the common principles are, and
So,
then
oh, okay. I thought you were asking me.
well, that's the idea of getting the three
Yeah,
early
yeah.
memories. Once you've got the three laid out in front of you, then you look at what are the common links in
Mm-hmm.
the behaviors, the attitudes, the thoughts. And then you do, in the Healing Through Relationships workshop, the next thing we'll do is have you do a situation that's going on currently in your life and fill in a set of blanks for a current conflict in your life.
Mm.
We don't have to do that right now. If you'd like to, we could.
I
But what virtually everybody finds when they do that current conflict and fill in the blanks, that what the common theme was in the three early memories is still there. And the question I asked next in the live workshop is, so here you thought, gee, here you are now, you're 27, right? And at 27, you're doing the same thing that happened in, your early memories. So did you think you were actually acting out of an adult mind when you did what you did today? And do you see that it was really being controlled by what you made up? Most people's lives are controlled by what they made up as children in those early memories.
yeah.
And then, so just having that insight, that's like a mind buster. That just cracks all kinds of things in the mind. And it's an invitation. The objective, the reason I created that exercise, the objective is to start to look at everything we do. And are we really in an adult consciousness, or is our mind just replaying what happened when we were 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15, 17? When we didn't know what we didn't know, and a lot of what we did was done out of, ignorance and fear. So that's one of the base purposes of doing that exercise.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's
then,
cool. It's cool.
yeah, and then the next thing we're going to do is have you fill in a worksheet. What will my healing look like?
Yeah.
And I take all the common things from those four memories, the current one and the three early ones. I take whatever's common there, and I use those to describe to myself, to recognize if these are my unconscious dynamics, these four memories put together, and, people are this way and I'm that way, and, I feel, and then if I recognize that it came from some time in the past and I'm going to heal, then what my healing process is going to look like is those energies are going to come up in my face and I'm going to detour through them. And so I take all the common themes from the four memories, put them into the when I heal, and now I've got an exact description of what my healing crisis is going to look like. And what I do with that in an intensive is I collect that worksheet. And then when somebody's in a healing crisis and they're blaming somebody else in the room, and they're talking about, what they did and da 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 da, I'm going to pick that sheet up and I'm going to read it to them. And you know what it's going to say? It's going to say exactly what they're saying to that person that they think is current events.
Yeah.
And most people are controlled by those early memory behaviors. And so then the bottom half of the When I Heal worksheet is to make a commitment to do something different. I want to be conscious here. I'm going to deal with this differently rather than just play out the old mind dynamics. So does that make sense of the whole process?
Yes, yes, yeah, it does. I'm just looking at these three memories. One of the absolutely identical common things, I needed my dad to rescue me, from
Yeah.
mom, from them, from the guy. And so this is, and of course, this sort of confusion and helplessness in these instances. That's a lot of that. Yeah.
So then and how often has helplessness played out in your adult life? That
Yes.
one of your core issues to work through and apply forgiveness to is helplessness, to remove the mind energy behind that helplessness.
I would say when I had, and if I ever again have a situation with panic attacks, with anxiety and like deep grieving, like depression-like situation, then they pretty much take over of my life so much. This is when I feel helpless. Other than that, not so much. But it's
Right.
like I've had so much of that in my life, then I would say it happened frequently.
So my question would be, if you look at before you found this work and healed your panic attacks, what were your panic attacks based on? But those three early memories and the things going on. Here's this guy shooting, a slingshot at me. Here's this guy making crude comments to me. Here's my mom sending me out for the belt. Yeah, that's a pretty good reason to be in
Yeah.
panic. And
Yeah.
as you delete, as you forgive that mind energy, as you move that out of your nervous system, and you restructure your nervous system around the breath and active present love, everything changes.
With
And
mom,
when you change,
yeah.
those things, you literally change the energy with which you invite more of the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and after that, also a lot of strange situations like that I had, when I was attacked on a street, like by men. So probably by age of 25, 26, I had good number of situations like that. I mean, they were different, but like as insane.
They were different, but the same.
But the same, exactly.
Yeah.
With mom, this is what I really want to. I put so much work with different methodic, with wonderful results. It's definitely the way how I feel towards mom, what's in my soul, like in my heart. It's like so much healing happened. But like as being as mother myself, when I read that, when I look at that again and again, I still cannot like wrap my mind around that. Like, is there as a mother, as a human? So it's one of those which I look at my mom and I don't think about that. Well, when I actually write it down and think about that, it's actually my mom, my mommy. I cannot wrap my mind around that. Seem like I still not neutral after years of kind of chewing on that. And it's not
Well,
even like only that the fact that she put belt on me, that's kind of one thing. But the fact how cruel it was to exercise this power, and this is my mom who absolutely cared and, like good Jewish mother. otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
So, I mean, I cannot wrap my mind around that. Like now again, I feel like my cheeks start to be hot, and it's like maybe I'm missing some goals there because I've done a lot of work, Michael, around
Right.
this particular thing.
And what's happening with your breath as you think about that?
Well, I again held it.
Yeah. So you want to breathe into that. And do you suppose, when you say you're still working around this issue, do you suppose that this issue of a mother being abusive to a daughter is something that just happened between you and your mom? Or do you suppose your mom had it modeled and came by it honestly because her mom possibly had it modeled and came by it honestly?
This is the most strange thing. Nobody ever raised a hand, or how we say that, on my mom. That's what we cannot understand. Like same in my case, her dad adored her. She was daddy's daughter, like I was. But my grandma, no, I know from mom, from grandma, I investigated, and nobody ever put hand on my grandma. So it's just some other probably generations or something. So my mom did not grow up like that. She didn't witness that, nothing.
Right.
Well, my grandma was yelling kind, but she was just like loud talker, yelling, not yelling. My mom could angry yelling. Grandma just yelling.
It's just a family principle, eh?
I guess maybe that's why I chose to be like my dad so much
Yeah.
in a lot of
And
things. I told Elena, you probably got lucky that I had it hard. I knew what I don't want to be like.
right.
And
And
but I will tell you, the work around that particular issues and disagreement, and me not wanting to be like mom at all, brought me discover so much that, without my mom, not because only she gave me life, which is that alone, but it's like she was so caring. She was like real mother to her kids. And my dad, if not for my mom, a lot of things would be much worse in our family, for us, for my brother and for me. But just this part, whatever program played in her, I don't know. And my dad had actually, he was so upset if he would find out. That, like, he would be telling her never to do that, but mom was girl on her own with her own opinions. So I'm still there. But I'm like, again, when I see my mom, like now, like in my mind, who she is now, it's like it's almost like, how we say, multiple personality. When I think
right,
of that, of the past, I have still all this emotion and like big confusion. How is it possible when your mother who cares, who would do whatever for me, you actually make how to say, physically hurt me, and even in a cruel way to bring you belt.
right.
And then when I look at her now, it seems like my mind separates it now. But
Yeah.
before, it wasn't separating. It was one big blob. But now they're split
So you're clarifying
personality.
clarifying it,
So, but still, when I look at that, I'm holding my breath.
Can I add
So that
some?
would be a good place to utilize the breath, to key the breath in. Go ahead, Jeannie.
I put a link in the chat. Um, your was your original language Russian?
Yes. Hmm.
Do the Russian worksheet. I put the,
Jeannie, thank you. I actually tried that a few times, I would say try.
right.
And it doesn't speak to me. It seems like, like you want to read everything in original. I do use a lot of Russian when I'm feeling it out,
Right.
but like when I look at that worksheet, it doesn't even hit any buttons. But when I look at original, it does.
Okay,
See,
gotcha.
you see what I mean? I just want to share
Right.
that it's interesting how it goes.
Sometimes people, if they do the worksheet in their original language, if the issue began when that was your main language,
Yeah,
then that will trigger something, from back then.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, maybe I'll take again. I'll look at that again because you suggested a few years ago, and I did do a few things, and then I kind of moved back. So I guess maybe that's how my brain works. But like I said, I use English worksheets, but I write a lot of Russian there,
gotcha.
actually. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
And when you realize it's all vibration and energy, going to the original language is going to tend to resonate the original energy because there has to be a frequency match. When I say something in English, it's a totally different frequency than saying it in Russian.
Yeah. I'll take a look
But
again.
but
Yeah.
but noticing that you hold your breath there, that would be a place to maybe just take and maybe as soon as we finish the show, take the time to lay down and do a still point session and see what uncovers. It's resonating, it's moving now. Now would be a good time to breathe yourself.
Okay. 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 Thank you for that. Oh, oh my.
Cool.
It's
Holding
moving.
the space.
Thank you. Well, may I ask, we're good on time. May I ask another question?
Tell you what,
Um,
actually, we had made a commitment on Friday to Celinda and her husband to do some orthobionomy at the beginning of the show. And you had your hand up, so I went ahead and chatted with you. Normally, I'd say, yes, let's just go for it. But we did have that pre-commitment. So what I'd like to do is take Celinda and Larry through the orthobionomy, and then we'll come back. Or if we can pick it up tomorrow, that would be awesome.
okay, of course, of course. The issue doesn't go away. It's here and waiting.
Okay.
Thank
Well, who
you
knows?
so
You might
much.
sneak in a worksheet and be done with it by tomorrow.
Say again, please.
I said, who knows? Maybe you'll do a worksheet and it'll be gone by tomorrow.
That will be awesome. That will be 100-something worksheet. It's about time.
Okay. Holding the space.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you, Jeanie.
All right. Blessings. Appreciate your questions. Well, Celinda, how are you, young lady?
Oh, we're fine, and we're here waiting. Larry reminded me that shows you how much in the present moment this ducky gets lost in. So he's right here, and he's waiting, and we're
Cool.
on the phone, and I've got it on high, and he's got his hearing aid up probably on high, and we're good to go.
Fabulous. Okay.
Oh, he's gonna put his He's going to both in. He's going to put them both in. This is the double barrel.
All right. Larry, delight to connect with you.
Delight to connect with you.
Okay, I'm getting there.
Okay.
The ear is in the way.
Yeah. Okay. Takes about 10 seconds or so.
Okay, about 10 seconds he'll be ready. Because it
Okay.
takes
Cool.
that long to kick in.
Right.
Yeah, the big problem for me is being able to hear on the phone. It gets very garbled, so.
Right.
So I'll help interpret.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're actually going to give you the instructions, Celinda. And
Okay.
so, Larry, you'll just be a neutral participant. Celinda is going to do the actual orthobionomy work. And what I'd like to do is start out and just for everybody's sake, and if anybody's got any aches and pains, arms, legs, what have you, then you might want to just follow through with this process. It is orthobionomy is a body of work that was done by a doctor who studied Ayurvedic medicine. He was an osteopath, an American osteopath, and he went to India and studied Ayurveda. which is an ancient Indian practice. And he shifted his work into recognizing the body as an energy system, and that when you put the body into the right position, then the body can start to move trauma energies out that are basically locked in. If you think of the body as an energy system, every energy system has an antenna. And one of the things to be aware of is the shape of an antenna determines the frequencies that are received or they can move through the system. So sometimes we'll injure ourselves and the body will be in a certain position. And the energy of that injury, because we've changed the position that we're in, the energy gets locked into tissue and can't move back out. But if you can pass the structure back through that same shape, that same antenna, so to speak, then the trauma will tend to move out of the body. And when it does, it's often felt as pulses. It's the simplest thing you could ever possibly do. And basically, my understanding is the injury is in the knee. So if you would be sitting down and Celinda, perhaps you're sitting in a chair in front of him, what we're going to ask you to do is to take a hold of Larry's leg around the knee and down toward the ankle in a way that you can comfortably hold the weight of his leg. So he's sitting, you're holding the weight of his leg, and you're below his knee. My understanding is the pain is in the knee. Is that correct?
The pain is in the knee. You want
Yes.
to describe with him exactly what's going on?
Yeah, it's in the knee. What happened was I wasn't looking where I was going, and I was going up a ramp, and for some reason, I don't know, Celinda said, they put about a 1-inch step in the partway up the ramp, like I've never seen before. And so I fell hard on my knee for mostly. So
Ouch.
it's still swollen up. I still got puffiness in that knee. We've been walking the last couple of days, and I've been doing some exercises and stuff. So it's not nearly as bad as it was, but
Right.
I can still feel it there.
You want to tell him
Okay.
about a little piece that's like a disconnected?
Well, right on the very bottom of the knee, there was a flat spot that I don't remember it being there before, but it wasn't like I sat and felt my knee a lot to see what it felt like.
Right, sure. Okay. So the way that you're holding his leg, so then to notice that there are 4 directions you can move his lower leg in. One would be holding his leg, the lower part of his leg with 2 hands would be to push toward his hips. That would be direction 1. Direction 2 would be to pull away from his hip. Direction 2. Then you could raise the lower part of his leg, direction 3, or lower the lower part of his leg, direction 4. You could then rotate to the right, would be direction 5, and rotate to the left, which will be direction 6. Orthobionomy is based on taking any part of the body that's injured, recognizing those 6 directions, and then using them as opposites to each other. So direction 1 and 2 would be opposites, compression, extension. Direction 3 and 4 would be opposites, raise and lower. Direction 5 and 6 would be rotate right, rotate left, which would be opposites. So what we want you to do, Celinda, is very gently, now this is less is more, just very gently, and Larry, if you could just relax and let her take the weight of your leg, and just very gently push toward his hip, compress a little bit, just a little, very gently, and then extend it. And Larry, if you would, just pay attention to which direction feels better. If she compresses it, does that feel good or does it hurt? Or if she extends it, does that feel good or does it hurt? If either direction hurts, you want to tell her to stop right there because we want to stay away from pain. But we're just looking for what feels better. And sometimes, if the compression is the one that just feels ever so slightly better, you might realize that because when she compresses it, you tend to let a breath out, or extends it, you tend to let a breath out. So if you would just gently, Celinda, extend, compress, and see which one feels the best. And Larry, when you get a sense of it, tell her which one feels best. Compression or extension? Number one or number two?
Number, or going down, and whatever that is. Number one.
Compression. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm letting the knee bend a little bit. And
Okay.
now, am I supposed to push toward the hip or just?
Yeah, what we're
to
doing is toward the hip and away from the hip. We want to go those two motions, do one and then the other, and see which one feels better.
Okay, first we'll do toward the hip.
And this is
And
just
away.
very slightly.
Towards the hip.
Okay, so now you want to hold that compression very slightly while you now raise the leg and lower the leg just ever so slightly. So raising the leg would be number one, lowering the leg would be number two. Which one feels better? Hold the compression and raise the leg just slightly. Does that feel better? Or when she drops the leg, does it feel better?
Dropping the leg.
Okay, so now, Celinda, what you want to do is hold the compression in and drop the leg slightly. And then you want to move on the third plane, that is rotation. So you're holding the compression, you're holding the leg down. Now rotate his leg just ever so slightly to the left, and then
now, wait a
rotate it.
minute. Inward or outward?
You're holding the compression. You're holding the compression. You want to stay with where it felt best. So the compression toward his hip is where it felt best, and then lowering the leg is where it felt best. So you want to hold those two positions stable, compressed and lowered slightly, and now rotate to the left, number one, to the right, number two, and see which one feels better.
To my left facing him?
Well, whichever, you just want to do the two sides.
Okay, I'm going to go inward to his right. And then outward to his
You're
left,
rotating, correct? You're rotating. You're holding those other two, and you're rotating slightly.
Okay, he says outward.
Okay.
Better.
So now you've got three. So you've got three planes, and you're going to stay with the compression. You're going to keep the legs slightly down, and now whatever it is you're calling to the right. You want to hold those three. So you've got those stable, those three positions that felt best stable, and you're just holding it now. And Larry, we want you to just take a few deep breaths. Connect your breath.
Larry and I have a conflict about right and left. So
we don't need to say right or left, just one or two, whichever direction you turn it. We don't need to figure out right or left. If it's number one, if you're rotating it in one direction, it's number one. Rotating it in the other direction, it's number two.
Okay, good. Okay, I've got compression towards the hip with the leg lowered, and I'm now rotating it.
Number one.
Out.
Okay, out. Which one feels better?
Which feels better?
Outward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Outward.
So, all right. So now hold all three. You want to keep the leg rotated slightly outward, compressed and down. And just hold that stable. And Larry, we're going to invite you while she's doing that to just take a few deep breaths.
How many?
A few.
Just a few. Just breathe for a little bit. And Celinda, are you feeling anything happening under your hands?
No.
Okay, 3, 4.
Go ahead, keep your breath moving. And you want to just pay attention, Celinda. Oftentimes you'll start as the energy starts to move, where you're moving out the energy of the injury, there'll be a pulse that happens.
I feel a little pulse, but I don't know if
That's
it's
what.
mine or Larry's.
Stay with it. You don't have to figure it out. We're not trying to figure anything out. You just want to be with the pulse, hold where it is, and let Larry breathe through it. That's exactly what we want. That's where the release of the excess energy that's causing the pain happens, is when that pulse occurs. Coming back into alignment with where the injury occurred, the energy is able to move out. That's what creates the pulse, and that's where the healing happens. And now you know how to do orthobiotomy.
I can see where that would be difficult with the eyeballs.
Yeah, getting a hold of the eyeball would be a little difficult there, yes.
So there must be some
So,
other way to remove that
Yeah.
or in orthobiology.
Yeah.
Orthobiology.
Orthobiotomy. So if you want to now just release, let the leg gently down. And Larry, see if it feels any different. If you get up to move on it, or
If it feels that.
Any different.
were you able to feel any of the pulsing that happened?
Yeah, I don't feel any pain. I didn't really have any, and I didn't really have a lot of pain in my knee for the last week or anything too, but it feels like there's more circulation or something possibly.
That's it. That's what the pulsing is doing. It's opening the energy of what happens is, if somebody goes up on the roof of your house and bends all the arms on the antenna, all of a sudden you're not going to get channel 2 very well anymore, because the shape of that antenna is what allows the energy of channel 2 to come into the antenna and be supplied to your TV set. Well, it's the same when we injure ourselves. We go into a certain shape, and that shape or position is what allows the impact. When you drop to your knees, that's what allows the impact. The energy gets locked into tissue, and that creates an abnormal amount of energy in tissue. And what the body wants to do is release it. And so when you do these 3 positions, you get to the 3 places where it's most comfortable. It's that comfort that your body's saying, okay, that's where I can do the release. And the pulse happens and blood flows and things move.
Okay,
We did an orthobotomy class. Jeanie and I were students in it. She's 20 years ago. And during that class, we were being taught how to do it. We had a fellow at Heartland, our center, and there was a boat on a trailer, and he was moving that boat by himself, and he had his hand on the hitch of the trailer, the front of the hitch, and it ran away with him, and it got his hand between the trailer hitch and a tree, and it just swelled up. It was red. I mean, he'd really injured it. And I did orthobiotomy on it with his fingers, just what she just did with your leg. You can do this with any part of the body that you can move in 4 directions. And I mean, he was in a great deal of pain. His hand was red and swollen. By that evening, when I said, "How's your hand doing?" he said, "What do you mean?" He'd forgotten that it had happened. That's how much of a change it made. I had back pain from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I had a thing they called spondylolisthesis, which is a place where the tissue on the front side of the spine is not formed properly, the muscles and such, and the vertebrae can literally falls off of the one below it. I can remember one time when I was a kid, I bent over and I was in so much pain I couldn't get back up. Somebody had to pick me up. That's when I found out I had this spondylolisthesis, and all my life I had back pain. In the orthobiotomy class, now, when I say I had back pain, I went from where it was a trauma for me all the time to where it was just there. I did my work around it, and it was just there, but it was always there. And Jeanie had never done any kinds of hands-on work, but she did the instruction for the low back, which is basically what we just did. You do this sort of thing on the low back, and she did that on my back, the orthobiotomy on my back. That's 20 years ago. That's the last pain I've had. Last time I had even one scintilla of pain in my low back. And, we were on the road. We would be carrying boxes of tapes and DVDs and books and tables and loading things and unloading things and twisting and turning. Not one scratch of pain after decades of having pain in my back. That's how powerful I found the orthobiotomy, and that's how simple it is. You can do that with your own finger, with a leg, with a toe, the spine, anywhere in the body that you can get to 4 directions. And when you hit that right position, just all you do is just test which feels better, just looking for, and sometimes the only difference in it feeling better is I get a relief breath, and hold those positions and breathe and watch what happens. So you've now experienced orthobiotomy. It seems like you're feeling a shift. Maybe in the next day or two, you could just let us know what kind of changes you got.
Maybe you can let us know what kind of change you
Yeah,
got.
okay. I want to kind of look at my left shoulder and that what happened.
You might see that excess swelling disappear within the next couple of hours from the fall.
Now, can you do this more than once on
Absolutely.
the knee?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'd go through the
Whenever
day.
you
How's it feeling? And, before bed tonight, do it again. You could do it 2-3 times a day. Absolutely. Just keep it gentle.
Go ahead.
Just keep it gentle. It's just really subtle. No big pushes or pulls, just a real gentle, which direction feels better, then hold in those directions and breathe into it. That's when those pulses kick in, circulation increases, and healing happens. It's amazing.
Will sometimes the directions change if you do it more than once? Have you ever had it
You
where...
might do it this evening, and there'll be a totally separate, instead of feeling better compressed, it'll feel better extended. Instead of feeling better to the left, it'll feel better to the right. Each time is unique as the body works
Perfect.
through. Remember that when you think of everything as energy, when energy gets locked into tissue, there's an abnormal energy there, and that's what creates pain. It can block oxygen flow and create pain. When you give the body the position it needs to let that energy loose, then the cause of the pain is gone and the pain disappears as well.
May I ask you a question with the orthobiotomy about the lower, mid, and upper back?
Yes?
Because I have the kyphosis and I've had the fractures in my middle back. And
Right.
I've also have a very old subluxation in one of my vertebrae. And so and Larry has upper back, I think lower back issues, but also he has his posture is bent in his upper back, more towards the neck area and the shoulder area. And so I just wondered if orthobiotomy could...
You can do it any part of the
would...
body that you can move in those 4 directions. Like I said, with my low back, Jeanie did the directions on the low back, and that was the last time I had pain in my spine.
Okay.
After, about 5 decades or so.
Now, subluxation has no pain, but it's definitely affecting my antenna, my spine,
Right.
and putting undue pressure, I'm sure, because it's out of alignment.
That's it. That's how it's done.
Okay, so, and the subluxation, I wonder if it would be possible just to work on the vertebrae itself with those 6 directions.
Well, You know,
Oh, we're up and
one of the beautiful things about orthotomy is if you follow the rules of it, you can't hurt yourself. It's just so gentle. So test it and see.
okay.
Follow your
Good,
guide.
because of the osteoporosis. So we're good. Yeah, that's
Hey,
good.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Delighted.
And carry on with what's the name of the lady who's Russian?
Okay, well, we're actually at 2:00, so we're going to close for today. And
Oh,
Lucy,
okay.
hopefully, will be on tomorrow, and we'll get to our next question.
Oh, wonderful.